Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Vibe Check podcast. This is your host Prashant Murali. What's your vibe today? In today's episode, we have an amazing guest all the way from the USA. He is well known for his elite style and personality, aka the most creative, representing in BHK, aka Fades, aka Freak Show, aka the man himself, Terrence REXX Franklin. Rex Franklin. Hello,
Mm.
Rex. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. It's a good night, man. Appreciate you having me. You know, just happy to be here, man.
Well, thank you so much for giving your time to us today. And I was so much in excitement to talk to you for a couple of months. And I'm so happy that we can finally do it. Thank you for
Yeah.
that. But how you been doing today? What's your vibe? That's the first thing that I ask my guests because it's the Vibe Check podcast slash channel. So what's your vibe? How's your energy going on?
Um, I'm good. I'm always it's rarely um it's rarely it's rarely stuff wrong with me. I always find the good in everything. So I try to always give positive energy out so I can receive it back. Sometimes I don't, but I just always keep that vibe. It keeps me going. It keeps me going.
Definitely, brother. Like from something that I've been observing over years through Instagram until I saw you in person at EBS, right? You have such an
Yeah.
amazing energy and you're so open to everybody. And I was so lucky to have a conversation with you, which tried me to understand that for somebody to travel outside, overseas, and see their idols, in person, it's like we are starstruck. That's how I felt, but I had to hide it within myself. And I was so overwhelmed that how kind and how chilled you were in your presence and how you were talking to everybody, greeting them, and really you wanted to connect with real human beings. So I
Yeah.
was I was so mesmerized about that, and I really wanted to have a long conversation with you. Yeah, I wanted to tell you that.
Hey, I appreciate it. See, I try my best to I just like I enjoy the dance so much and I know that the dance wouldn't be possible without the people. And and I always say I'm a fan first. So like all my success and all that other stuff is cool and everything, but I know I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the people. Like these are people I've never met yet that they shared my footage, they liked my footage, they talk highly about me to other people and stuff, and I've never met them. And I I don't know who I'm meeting at that moment. This can be my number one fan that has a group page like REXX fan club somewhere and stuff, which have met someone like that before. And I wouldn't know that if I just walk past everyone and just like, try not to vibe with. I talk to everyone because I want them to know that I'm human and I want you to talk to me. I don't like
Yeah,
so I try to break the cycle and come up to people and speak. So I just make it a little easier because I know how it was when I was coming up and the first time I would meet like, Solo and Eyes and all of them. I would want to go up to them and talk, but I'm just like, I don't want to bother them and stuff. So I know how that is. And I know that barrier could just be broken by like, the person that everyone is like, happy to see if that person was more open to speaking and like hanging out with people and stuff like yeah like me beast and like 1K we were hanging out with like people I've never even met before but we was just coming back to our hotel lobby with us and we're just sitting there talking hours and laughing and stuff making jokes so
same.
it was cool. I always like to vibe with the community because I feel like that is what's keeping Krump alive and it's going to keep it going.
Definitely, brother. Well said. Like in a way that it really puts people to be more open and also be vulnerable in terms of doing crumb dancing. Sometimes we think the society has this view where it's only aggression, but it's not true, right? So it's more than aggression. More, it's a pure form of expression. And then
Hmm.
this dance gives us this energy and perspective. And there's also a human side to it for the people who are doing it. And what you just said uh, makes it more sense so people to be more open and vulnerable within each other, and that's the only way to grow with this community, right? Thank you so much for sharing and you doing that and showing us how it's done. Really thank you for
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
So
Right. Right.
yeah,
Appreciate you.
Yeah. So before we go into deep stuff, so I just thought we can start off with fun rapid fire questions so that we can slowly transcend into like more Krump and more topics on life, let's say.
Yeah.
Yeah. So would you choose session or battle?
Session or battle? I'm going to choose a session. I'm a
Yeah.
battle head.
Yeah.
I'm a battle head, but I feel like the session is the session is more. Session is more than a battle. Like, you know, the exchanging of energy. It's the session is the best teacher you can ever run into. You figure out new things about yourself. You really get to see new things about people. Within battling, it's just like, you know, that's prepared, and a lot of people go into battles like wanting to win. So, you know, it takes from the freeness of it, and a lot of expression be like, you know, rehearsed per
Yeah.
se, rehearsed per se.
Hmm.
So like sessioning is just like vibing, and it's just a good feel. Like, you know, like me and the homies, like, you know, we'll meet up, we'll session for like 3-4 hours and then leave. Like, you know, a lot of battles don't really happen in Buffalo anymore. We just meet up, we session, sometimes we lab, and I feel like that's more important than us, like, you know, battling each other all the time. You know, although I love battles, but
Yeah.
I'm going to session.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You're a battle killer, brother. Of
Hmm.
course, the world knows it. Yeah, and it's so much, as you said, session is the only place where we can be really free in the stands, right? Where we can execute
Yes.
and really do our trial and errors in order to become a
Hmm.
better battle dancer or a session dancer that we choosing to be. That's amazing. So, can you freestyle rap? That's one of the question I want to ask
Can
you.
I freestyle rap? No,
All right.
no, I can't. I can't freestyle rap. I wish I could, because
Mm,
I do look up to all of like track makers that rap and stuff like that, like Proof, you know, Street Voice,
mhm,
you know, Hot Eyes, um, Spartan, of course. Like those are like my top four, and uh like I do look up to, when I listen to them and I rap it, I feel like it's me.
mhm.
So I wish I could, but I know I can't.
Yeah, but that was just a fun question. But really happy
Hmm.
that you put up your top four rappers. Just like, of course, they're amazing. And
Yeah.
would you ever try stand-up comedy?
Would I ever try stand-up comedy?
Yeah.
Um, I'm going to say no, because I
Okay.
have really bad anxiety, and it's
Hmm.
already hard enough, with a lot of people don't know. It's already hard enough for me to get up and dance in front of people with people don't know. And it's just my anxiety, that how it works, you know. I get that stomach feel, I get nervous, and I start to wonder if I'm going to mess up what I practice. So I know I wouldn't be able to get up there and like tell rehearsed jokes, because sometimes I know when I'm being funny, but a lot of times I'm just like really honest, and people think I'm joking. So I know, but
Yeah.
I'm probably not that funny. I'm just like, you know, people just really be surprised in a lot of shit that I say. So
Yeah,
yeah.
damn. Because I personally thought you were really funny. You're a really fun human being. From very little that I watch from videos and the things that you say, you're such
Mhm.
humorous human being. That's why I wanted to shoot out the question so that the the community in Buffalo or USA could check out this next stand-up comedian like REXX, right? So just wanted to put
Yeah,
that out
yeah, yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah. It's a really good question. I've never been asked that before. It's a really good question.
Thank you for that. So, what was your first job, Rex? Like, how did it all begin?
FedEx. FedEx Ground was my first job. My bro Bang, real name Brian, you know, he was a little crims. He was working there, and then he just hit us all. He at a session, he just came one day and said, "Hey, yo, apply for FedEx. You know, they hiring." At this time, uh
Mhm.
it's literally, I didn't have an ID or social security card or birth certificate or anything, but I went in there and they hired me. So I was happy. And
Damn.
it was my first job, and it was my longest job too, because I worked for FedEx for 10 years
Hmm.
uh, before my dance career put me in a position where I can dance. But yeah, it was FedEx. FedEx.
Damn, that's a decade of working in FedEx, bro.
Yes.
That was a long time,
My
definitely.
back, not the same. It's not the same. I'm telling you.
Crazy. And that brings me to this question. Now you're an entrepreneur, right? So
Mhm.
how did you get into that transition to become being an employee at a firm to become an entrepreneur? Could you share
Um,
some insights about it?
yes. So I took a lot of business classes. Not gonna say a lot. It was just like 4 different business classes. They were really helpful. And I took these business classes while working at FedEx. And one business class I took, he was a really smart guy named Jacob, forgot his last name. But
Okay.
um he was a really really smart individual, and his program was called 10,000 is like 10,000 or less. And he was pretty much saying like, once you save up $10,000, quit your job. And
Yeah.
I kind of followed his instructions. I saved the $10,000 from working at FedEx. Um and I quit my job and I just continued his course. And he was just telling me about, like, the methods of spending money to make money. Like, people say that saying a lot, but he broke the saying down to a T where it was just like so perfect. And
Mhm.
he was reaching into everybody's profession. So like he reached into my profession of like dance. I told him I wanted to be a teacher. So, he gave me ideas and how spending money and making some back is better than making the actual money back. And it changed my life. Like, it helped me be like the businessman I am today. And although I still run into like a few bumps and stuff here and there and stuff, but um yeah, like, just like really understanding, honestly, just understanding and listening and knowing that you're not always going to be right really helped me become the entrepreneur I am here today. And just like listening to people. And you have to be like ready to spend some money. And I think that's what like really helped me like achieve like my goal.
Damn. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that, Rex. So to sum it up in from my understanding of what you said, so it's pretty much of saving up initial investment for your upcoming business. So it's about taking risk and also being analytic and being a good listener, and then like being an observer in all this perspective, and also trying to be stable in your ups and downs when you take that risk to become a new entrepreneur in any field of work. Yeah, that
Hmm.
makes a lot of sense. Thank you so much for that, Rex. So
Yeah, no.
yeah, so tell us about your times of being a rookie in the Krump career.
Oh man.
And
So
please give us the years as well, so that people like outside USA or outside Europe, especially India, like I would like to put it out there because we are so far away from the Mecca and
mhm,
everything that we most of the things that we consume is over the internet or YouTube.
yeah.
So we don't get to understand most of these things or get to personalize with you. So this podcast, this video will help people to understand more about you and the culture where you're from.
Okay. So being a rookie was hard for me. Like, it was super hard. Like, people was telling me like the stuff I was doing, it wasn't Crump. Cause one thing about the USA, when something is different to them, they'll just say it's not Crump. Like, that's their number one go-to in the United States. So something different, it's not Crump. Okay.
Okay. Mm.
So uh I got bashed for that. Like, everyone just said I'm not Crump because there was nothing really else they could say about me. I was just doing, a bunch of hat tricks that I was all about the tricks and stuff. But I would get off after them. It wasn't really a strong get off, but it was a get off. So I felt like it was enough. I kind of stayed true to myself, but it got to me at one point where um I wanted to be one of the top people in this dance. And then that's what humbled me to like really try to change the vibe and like master my get off. So I started to like, just like studying dancers and like reaching out to like greats. And then, that kind of like, like led me to a battle, which was I was battling Truck, which was at Fitted Talk. I battled Truck, and Tight Eyes was there judging the
Mhm.
battles as well. And and that's when that was like the first time I like Tight Eyes like stopped like the event. And he was letting me know like and this was me in my rookie stage, like rookie stage, like peeling over. And he told me like he's never seen a Krump dancer like me in his life, and I was the most creative Krumper he's ever seen in his life. He was like, "You're the most creative Krumper I've ever seen ever in like history, like out of everybody." And he was like, Mickey and like Hurricane. Like Mickey is Hitman, and like
Mhm.
Hurricane, he was Baby Miho for a minute. But those are two people that was like extremely creative, and he was saying like, I was like up there with them, if not better to him, but he was like up there with those guys, and that like changed my like whole mindset of it, especially when he was just telling me like, oh, hat moves can be your hat tricks can be Krump, they're like special effects, they're like props and stuff, like, so they can be Krump. He gave me a good insight that gave
Mhm.
me a drive that I wanted to like really really follow. So
Damn, yeah.
like that helped me, but like the rookie part was like really stressful. I cried a lot. I was angry, but I just knew I wanted to be like the best at the dance. I wanted to give my all to the dance because I felt like the dance gave me so much. So um and then you fast forward and then I'm here today.
Yeah. Among the top elite crumpers for sure.
Yeah.
Like famous for your personality and style, right? So like I remember watching your one of your battles when I initially was in my rookie stage. I don't know if 7 years is not the rookie stage anymore, right? So I remember
Yeah.
this battle of yours of you with Bruiser, and where you do a lot of tricks. And also the other main battle that I want to put out there right now that comes to my mind is against Whipped, right, at Beast Camp. So these are the moments, like these should be different years for sure, right? And in these different years, the tricks were the highlight of the rounds. And after, from my observation, after the battle against Whipped, the whole persona changed with your Crumb career. So please highlight me with what happened there.
So uh what was interesting is that like just like the second Beast Camp, the first Beast Camp, Tie-Dye judged all the battles like right after. He let
Mm,
us all know who won and lost, like everybody. Like
okay.
he did it the second Beast Camp and he did it the first Beast Camp. He let all of us like know immediately. And uh something he was saying was like he was like he was telling us like, yeah, hat tricks and tricks could be Krump, but he was like, we draw the line at magic. He was like, when y'all start doing magic tricks,
Yeah.
he was like, that's when that starts to like really like that's when gets to be like, hold on now, yeah. But um, he said something that really stuck with me is that like using your body to create a killer is you get more props from it than
Mm,
hat trick. And then he was just saying that uh like my battle with Whiphead, like me being able to get the crowd reaction as
mhm.
high as the same as the same as him throwing his hats to the ceiling and they sticking
Yeah.
is he was like it's just better because you did this without purchasing something from like a store.
Mm,
So it
yes.
gave me a vibe that made me realize that I could take my creativity like past the hat and put it into body movement, into um wrist and fingertips, into placements, into chest work, into ground moves. And then I started to take my creativity from just combos and material and I start putting in everything in Krump. A creative way to jab, creative way to tilt my head. And so that battle made me realize that like creativity comes in everything.
Damn.
And then
Yeah.
me being so creative with the things that I was known for, I just pour creativity on everything I do. Even if I do the heel toe, I'll try to find a creative way to do it. So
Damn.
that's what changed me about that battle.
Damn. So it's pretty much taking what your strengths are and just uh like how do I put this? Like enlarge the horizon in the other aspects of Crump. So it really worked out. Like you're one of my favorite uh get off Crumpers right now. Like for the couple of years, I could see the transition into your get off, and I'm understanding more about get off watching you dance in your videos and everything, right? It's so amazing how you transit into your get off nowadays with the other battles. For example, to go back, the battle between you and Ultra,
Yeah.
yeah. So that was crazy battle. Like I was, the energy is like screaming out of the screen. And the recent battle as well, I would like to give a shout out to Ultra and also battle against Solo. That was amazing. These are study materials for the old Krump, I feel.
Yeah.
How do you like to recall about the battling against one of your uh favorite and influencer of Solo, right?
Listen,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah,
That was I've battled tie-dyes before.
yeah.
And I thought that was gonna be my hardest battle, but my hardest battles was with Solo because I couldn't find the way to that I wanted to even approach the battle. And I just realized, like, I watched him so much growing up, and like for me to battle him, that pressured me in a way that it bothered me as soon as I was okay the whole beginning of the event. But when they called the battle, so they said Rex versus Solo, like everything was just like, dude. And I do like my performance I did, but when I was there, I didn't think I did that well because I was really hard on myself, especially the first round.
Hmm.
Uh, like Knives,
Yeah, yeah.
my wife, of course, and Beast, they had to come and cheer me up after my first round because I was literally pissed off. Like
Yeah.
Beast was on the mic, but Beast put the mic away from him and he was like, "Bro, you okay?" And I'm just like, "Bro." And he's like, "Bro, no." He's like, "Bro, you're good. You did what Rex do. You do what you did what Rex usually does. Like you did, like don't be disappointed. Like you did Rex pretty much." And and that helped me like get back and tap back to get up there and do my thing because like sometimes you do need like reinsurance in the middle of a battle. Like, yo, no, you good. Like you doing good. Like
Yeah.
so so like it was the mental game with Solo because looking at Solo dance and seeing everybody react to his movements and me watching it and me thinking his movements is like out of this world and super cool and me thinking like, yo, I'm about to get one rounded because that's where I was at that first round. I was like, this energy, I was like, if this energy keeps going up here, I'm out of here. If they call it, I'm just gonna respect it and then move on and hit the lab and stuff. But like just luckily I got lucky and
Damn.
it just turned out really well. And then I really enjoy that battle. It's one of my favorite battles. And like, me and Solo was like super cool. And I think that battle is like just gonna make us closer because we got that out the way because he's a king of material of
Yeah,
his era and I'm the king of material of my era. So it was bound to happen, and that's why the battle was so big and anticipated. So yeah.
definitely. That was an amazing, like an historical battle, a legendary battle for sure. Like because there's so much detail, so much character work, so much energy that you guys put out in these battles, right? It's too much.
Mhm.
Like while we're at it, like I want to give a huge shout out to DS4, man, Desert Storm. It was amazing event to see the whole videos that they put out on their platform on YouTube from day one to the last day of the battles. It gave me so much perspective how a Krump event should look like and how you guys are like evolving in your cities and how you guys are coming together and how the energy shifts between like the OGs, the veterans, and everybody, even the rookies, like dancing.
Mhm.
Even like I would say the Krump crews that they took part in these events, right? It was all super inspiring for me to watch. I think everybody who watched those videos who were there to put out this energy should have felt something amazing. But really, thank you for
Mhm.
sharing those memories about this battle, Rex. Really appreciate it.
No problem, no problem.
So just want to deviate from Crump. Well, what is the kindest thing a stranger has done to you?
Kindest thing a stranger. Let me see. Um, uh, kindest thing a stranger ever done for me. What happens to me a lot is that a lot of people like show up and hop. This happens to me like it just happened to me when I just left Toronto to come
Yeah.
to Milwaukee. Uh, um, this guy seen that I had American money and it wasn't working. He just jumped in front of me and he paid for my stuff. But this happened more than once. Like this
Damn.
happened like at least 6 times. That time, my American card was not going through when I was in Toronto. And then another time, a person was just like, "Hey, I just felt like, paying for
Yep.
your food,
Yeah.
pay for your food." One time, I was in a drive-through, and then
Yeah.
I got to the front, and they said the car in front of me paid for my food, and I was just like, okay, and stuff. So yeah, yeah, like those are some of the times that like I don't even know who those people name are. So I will require them as strangers because I've never met them. Some of them I didn't even see any of them. They just
Damn.
paid for my they just paid. So
You're
that was
lucky with money, Rex. That's super amazing. I
yeah,
think,
yeah, yeah,
yeah, yeah, that's amazing if somebody really goes their way to help out somebody with money. That maybe that's these things comes out naturally, or some things. There are some trendy videos on Instagram, right? People really want to do it and document these
yeah,
things
yeah,
as well.
yeah.
I think this influences people to do this. It's such a kind thing to do to help out a
Mm.
neighbor, right? That's super cool. That's super cool.
Yeah, right, right.
Yeah. So, would you like to travel, or you're a person who will stay home and at leisure? I mean,
Um, I like to travel. That's why, like like uh like traveling and flying out is like it's on my business.
yeah.
Uh, so that's where a lot of my money come from. I get a lot of my money when I fly out to places. So I do like to travel. I am trying to get into a position where I can
Hmm.
stay home a little longer and just stay home and teach because a lot of my stuff is me just teaching here on my laptop. I just teach people all around the world. Uh, so the goal is so maybe I can stay home a little longer. I'd be at home a okay amount of time, but I wish I was like home a little more. But I
Yeah,
understand I have to keep my business like rolling until I'm in a position where I can stay home. So
definitely. Yeah,
traveling until I can be home.
be home. Yeah, makes a lot of sense because you're a hustler with your from career and your business,
Yes.
right? It makes sense, and it's also important to spend more time with your family, right? I also feel that way. The more we
Yeah.
miss out on that, something from the puzzle of life like drops out, right? So
Yeah.
we need that time to reconnect with our family members and spend more time with family and friends. That's more important for sure.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
So tell us more about the American Krump culture or things that's evolving right now.
So like here within the States, there's let me see, where can I start? Because there's a lot.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna be able to get everything done, but like it's it's getting better, but we just have a lot of issues.
Mm.
Um so it's just a lot of it's a lot of ego in play, and we all want to see our group be number one. And
Mm.
we have not we have not gathered we have not gathered what overseas has gathered. That overseas has accomplished that no group can be number one. Like
Mm.
it's too many of us. The states we don't understand that yet. Uh, we haven't figured out the way to establish events and make sure like this event that nothing clashes with. We're just it's a crab in a barrel thing consistently with
Mm.
us. Yes, plus side, we have an extreme amount of talented dancers. Yes, we do.
Yeah.
We have all the greats, and then we got it's the overseas greats, but we have like all the greats. Yes, but just mentally wise and like just like uh like the back in the day and all that other stuff. That's still a lot of people and a lot of people in the states has not let that go.
Yeah.
Okay, like uh they're so stuck on the past and how things should be, and a lot of people feel like because I was here before, I deserve more. Like,
Mm,
why is this person further than this person? And why do y'all care about this person? Why do you care about this person? And then a lot of it in the States, a lot of it is mental. A lot of it has to do with like past trauma and like mental that we are like, forcing on other people. And
yeah.
I feel like that's what like is holding us back. It's a great place to visit, and there is a lot of good about the
Mm,
Krump here. There's a lot of good, but it's just that like the people we choose to follow and the damaging of uh everyone following kids at the beginning is
yeah,
like they're leaking over, and like they're bleeding on the new generation and the next generation, and like just like how everything is like how to talk to people, how to treat people, and that's was like really just like the culture here. The culture here is cool, but the the culture here is nothing to look up to. So like the dancers, the dance part, yes,
yeah,
the dance.
yeah.
So their talent, yes, but I do advise people like to look up them as a person, like outside the dance. I really wouldn't like consider people to do that,
Yeah.
because you'll meet that person and you figure out you don't ever want to talk to that person ever again in your life.
Definitely.
So
Yeah. Because that's the image that I feel I can speak for others, I guess, from being overseas. It's pretty much evident that this is happening, right? Like from watching from the history of Crump, the DVDs that's on YouTube, that's there we get free access to understand this culture. And it's pretty much evident there's a strong masculine like egoistic ideology up within the dance. And that's the funny question for me because I feel for me, this dance is very spiritual. It kind of heals me, kind of puts like cut down my anxiety. And how is it increasing anxiety or ego from this place this dance began from? That's my question. That's my curiosity more than a question.
it's it's a um it's
Is it
a
can I
it,
add one more thing?
yes,
Is it
yeah.
mainly because since it has this it started because of different reason? Maybe from please add more words if I don't know what I'm saying, right? So for example, it started in the hood, like try to not to be in a gangster environment, try to be like a way to discipline yourself, discipline your anger management, or try to guide yourself in the right way, right path, so that you can grow as a human being and not caught up in gangster or violence or drugs or any other thing that's so easy to put out there from where this all started. So now it took this worldwide image of a street dance. And do you think it's the crumb politics that build up with the culture that kind of caught up with people in their heads, and that's the reason there's so much ego happening?
Yes. Yes. Yeah, I can say that that's pretty much it. Like that's pretty like because it's like a God complex thing for a lot of people.
Mhm.
Um uh it okay, so it's just that all this stuff that happened to people that traumatized them back in the day in Crump and even now, no one has ever apologized to no one.
Mm,
Okay. And there was no accountability took. No one took accountability for manipulating these dancers as they're young, telling them they can't do this, can't do this,
mm,
making them do stuff to be in crews and then not letting them be in crews. No one has ever sat down and said, "Hey, I apologize for how I treated you when we were younger."
mm,
In Crump, no one in Crump history in the United States has ever apologized to anyone.
mm,
All these bad things, converting people into being Christians and forcing them to do stuff, pouring water on people, all this wild stuff that was going on. No one has never apologized to anyone.
damn, yeah.
No one has took account. They just act like it never happened.
Mm,
They act like, oh, we wasn't treating you crazy. We wasn't mentally abusing you. We wasn't physically abusing you. We
mhm,
wasn't we wasn't dead. Like you're back in the day, that was cool. Like you just got to get over it. That's how we got tough skin. We tough because that's how we got tough skin. No one has apologized to no one. No one has took that accountability, and everybody, all of our like OGs and vets and things like that have trust issues due to the fact that the people they looked up to and followed so much, they still are being this person in front and smiling in their face, but they are still hurt and traumatized of what happened to them when they were younger.
Crazy.
And I did 6 years of therapy, so I know 90% of Krumpers need therapy, and they need to confront the person who put them in this position to not trust people, because everyone can, we just throw this word weird, like this person's weird around, but this person has been traumatized through this dance. Someone leaving their fam, getting into somebody else, they've been traumatized through this dance, and no one has ever took the accountability to apologize or to say I'm wrong. No one feels like they're wrong.
Yeah.
Nobody. And that goes for each coast. This happened on each coast, Midwest, East Coast, West. The West is the big picture. The West is the root of most of the trauma, because most of the coast was looking up to what the West was doing and doing it in their the no hyping people and treating people crazy, that all came from the West Coast.
Damn.
They were trying to be like them. So I think that would fix a lot of stuff here if people would just take accountability and apologize for what happened instead of acting like that's the past and leave it in the past. That damaged a lot of people. Damn. A lot of Krumpers, a lot of Krumpers dropped out of high school, stopped going to high school, was going to the sessions and the labs and stuff, missed out on that education. That damaged them a lot. A lot of us didn't grow up with dads, and now people are saying, I'm your big homie, I'm not your dad, when they never had a dad. But you want to throw that in their face, that I'm not your dad, when they never had no dad. So it's a lot. I can go at that every day. I can go at that a lot, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
A simple apology, simple sorry goes a long way. In other words, forgiveness. Ask forgiveness for yourself and ask forgiveness if you did wrong to others, right? It's so crazy.